What's a skill you have that you'd rather not brag about? I can make a balloon animal anything. Once people know, they constantly challenge you and there are constant invites to kids parties from friends of friends. I had an on again off again thing with a professional magician for a while and he found it intimidating. I wish I was kidding. Unless I want to be a clown or meet someone with a balloon fetish, this is a completely useless skill. I won the spelling bee of Canada, which is not really that impressive and kind of paints me as one of those kids. I can snap coins very long distances. The only time it's useful is when I'm in a movie theater and some kid a few rows down won't shut up. Then a quarter at max speed to the back of the head is a good message to send. Woo whack. I play national level laser tag, but when I am out with my team getting food in uniform we tell people we play rugby. Note, we say rugby because it is funny as we are all nerds who would never play rugby. I'm a guy and I can knit. It's not something I do all the time. I only knitted hats and scarves for my girlfriend for Christmas. It was a cheap and simple gift that was homemade. I can ride unicycles. I used to show girls I was into. I thought they would think it's quirky and cute. I didn't show my girlfriend until we had been dating for a few months. I can regurgitate items at will, like a magician does with razor blades, but no razor blades. I could probably do it with pennies, but I've only ever done it with food, kernels of corn, candies like M&Ms, that kind of thing. There's a weird pocket in the back of my throat that I can force the food into when I swallow, then just make another weird motion and bring the item back up whole. It can be uncomfortable though, and quite honestly it's kind of gross, so I tell no one. I can stick the tip of my own dong in my own butt. I'd rather not brag about it as most people have a negative reaction. My Hobbit fanfic is in the top 10% of some large fan websites. Link. I have the ability to be in and out of the DMV within an hour. For some reason, this ability seems to expand to my companions if I accompany them to the DMV. I can whistle nearly any tune I hear. Fast, slow, high, low, you name it. Downside, people usually don't want to listen to someone whistle. If I'm sitting on the toilet I can suck in my abs and suck air into my butt. I can release it instantly or save it up for a nice surprise later. I had a friend who used to do that at sleepovers when I was a kid. Would just suck air into his butt and start farting. I'm a big man. I'm tall, more fat and muscle, but I have a large silhouette. Plenty of hair with a grungy look about me. Many have described me by saying, "Why do you always look like a hobo?" And I am inexplicably non-threatening. My friends have described it as my stupid superpower. It really doesn't matter what I'm doing or wearing. I just do not possess the ability to intimidate people at all. I can be in full shady stoner attire and little kids will still smile at me. I got to know this one chick at a tattoo parlor once and my friends couldn't figure out how. They told me that anytime any of them would head around that parlor the tattoo chick would retreat inside and not talk to them. But I could even talk to her without a problem. I didn't even realize she had been giving them the cold shoulder. This extends everywhere. I worked as a pizza guy and on day one of my job I got told about the angry laundromat owner in our shopping center that would tow any pizza cars parked in front of his store. A month later the owner of the laundromat gave me special, exclusive permission to park in front of his store. I had barely talked to the guy. I've also gotten out of some ludicrous tickets with naught but a warning. Ultimately I can't help but laugh at the whole thing. Dude, you should be a negotiator. I'm very good at remembering minuscule details about people, places, and I don't like creeping people out, so I pretend not to remember things. I'm a white 30-year-old married guy with 2 kids, living in the suburbs. I work in tech and I can freestyle rap like a mother sucker. You can't say that and not let us hear or read something. I'm pretty good with a sewing machine. I've reupholstered a chair and made a cushion for my daughter's wagon. Also made pillows and fixed our unraveling couch cushions. I'm a guy. Grandma taught me. I have abnormally sensitive hearing, like almost Daredevil level, halfway to Superman. I can hear dog whistles, fluorescent lights, CRT TVs, and other high frequencies. Last time I really said something about I was made to take a test and could identify the highest frequency they played at 25 kHz. I could tell when it started and when it stopped each and every time they played it. Normal hearing is around 20 Hz to 18 kHz. Other times I mention it, people ask me if I can hear this or that. The answer is usually yes. I can tell you what the person across the street is watching on TV because I can faintly hear the audio. I have to focus on it, but it's there. Obviously the ability to navigate P sites to whichever micro niche of P gets me off at the moment. Sometimes those German BBW midgets are what I need right now. Well then you need to check out the albino amputee midget German Dungeon P. If I don't CM in 24 plus hours, I can amass about 10G 12G of CM, which I can shoot about 6 feet horizontally, with about 8 good non-consecutive pump shots over the span of 15 seconds. Girls find it funny the first time I hose them down, but after a while, they end up preferring to swallow or take it inside them. You should try not cooming for a year and then tell me the results. I am really good at keeping my crap together when drunk, high tripping balls. The last thing I want is to ruin my friend's buzz by needing to be taken care of, so I'm generally the one taking care of people who are freaking out. I'm happy to do it, though. Same here. No matter how high drunk I get, I keep my crap together. I don't get the people who go ape crap when intoxicated. Sometimes it seems like an act to me for some people to be so fricked up. This will probably get buried, but I need to get something off my chest. I am a freaking incredible singer. I trained in classical voice for 10 years, won every competition I've ever entered, done musicals, performed in front of thousands of people, but I stopped around 19-20 years old. I'm in my late 20s now, in a new part of the country and virtually nobody knows. I never tell anybody because inevitably they all want me to sing, and that's embarrassing. I've been out of it for about 7-8 years and I really miss it. I'm afraid it is my life's calling and I am just flat out ignoring it. Sing on YouTube, either anonymously or not. There's a great community. You can find people who will both help you and support you too. You can find all sorts of niches too. Anything from cover songs, communities to original work and fandubs. I have a frustratingly good amount of muscle memory for most FPS and fighting games. I spent a lot of time playing games when I was younger, like 6-8 hours a day if not more, every day. So I can pick up almost any shooter, and most fighting games similar enough to Street Fighter, Tekken, or Marcel vs Capcom, and in about 5 minutes I will ruin people. It makes pickup games with new friends awkward at times, because I'll kick somebody's butt at a game they have invested a ton of time into first try. It's like riding a bike for me. I don't even own any consoles anymore, and occasionally play RTSs for fun. Sometimes I'll intentionally just play worse, because I don't want people to know I spent most of my youth in front of a television, while they were outside being active, or learning cool things like an instrument. I can creep up on people, almost dead silently. I often do this inadvertently. I remember walking into my boss's office one afternoon. He was working on his computer, doing something. As I walk through the open door, he doesn't see me. I don't make a noise. Once I walk far enough to trigger the motion detector for the lights, he jumps in his seat. "Are you trying to kill me?" he asked. I also used to work at another office. On my breaks, I would go outside to stand, perched on the cement-walled garden adjacent to the entry stairs. The CEO was standing there talking to a co-worker one afternoon when I went to the perch. He looked back at me. I said hi, and he went back to his conversation. I went back inside the office, and he didn't notice. He said, "You were there once, and when I went to look back again, you were gone." It's even more fun to do it intentionally. I'm full of useless trivia, but I only remember it when something related to it comes up. When someone just asks me outright to tell them some trivia, my mind goes blank. I can recite the entire poem The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, also about 15 other poems by various authors, and also the first 50 digits of pi. Real I hasn't helped with anything in life, although I believe being able to recite The Raven got me laid once. Sales. I've closed $500,000 deals and I don't want to tell any friends out of fear of being a douchebag. no matter how proud I am of my accomplishments. Same here. I was drunk, trying to get a buddy to apply for an open position in my district and was telling him about a phenomenal month I was having. I started to feel like I was pitching a pyramid scheme. I know tons about marine biology keeping. Everyone I know thinks I'm a fish nerd because I know tons about the hobby. I rather not tell anyone because marine biology doesn't impress anyone. I can sew. I'm a big guy with a big beard. People never expect it from me. I dated a girl that still slept with her childhood stuffed animal. It was over 20 years old and was torn by several dogs and missing a ton of stuffing. I was supposed to be home alone one weekend and bought stuffing and started fixing it up as a surprise for her. My roommates came home early and saw me sewing, thimble and all. They still give me crap for it. But when the zombie apocalypse comes, everyone will be happy I can stitch them shut, even if I can't fix what's wrong inside them. This is a new one for me, but I seem to have hit a perfect storm in my ability to finger a woman. There were many years of training, some successes and some failures. The last 4 women I've been with squirted for the first time with me, not just a little, but over and over again until they needed me to stop. I'd rather not brag about it because word has gotten out and I live in a small town. I get women I don't know asking me to do it for them as well. Sounds good, but think it through. Thought it through. Sounds good. Moved to a city. I've played the guitar for about 7 years now. I think 2 persons outside of my family has heard me play, ever. I don't wanna be the guy who brings a guitar to a party. I don't wanna be the guy who picks up a guitar I find at a party. And I don't play in a band. Please play Wonderwall for me. Amazingly accurate timing. I put something in the microwave, walk around, do other stuff, forget about it. In front of spectators I'll make a pointing gesture towards the general vicinity of the microwave when it feels like it's about to go off. I'm generally within 3-4 seconds. Still have no idea how I do it. I would rather not brag about it because it's pretty useless. I'm good at doing my crappy part-time job. If I was to brag about this ability, then they would pile more responsibilities upon me because I can handle it, when, in fact, frick you part-time job. I do my dang job well because you understaff my area and I must do my job well, else I would be yelled at by every other dang person that comes in. By the way, this is my first realization of the fact that I hate my job. I am extremely adept at finding and identifying people online given very few details such as a first name and location or even just a username. My success depends on how avid of an internet user they are. Most of this comes from knowing how to manipulate search engines, primarily Google or Facebook. Most people don't realize the amazing people search engine Facebook has to offer. People go and list languages they speak, where they live and travel, all their likes and interests, their family members and friends, etc. It's kind of scary really. Obviously, this is viewed as kind of creepy by most people, so I don't ever brag. I don't do it for fun either. I do it in most cases to help people find someone they have been separated from for a long time, such as a family member or missed connection, and other times, to help someone identify someone online who has been harassing them to the point of actual harm. It is worth mentioning I have helped law enforcement in the past. I'm a classically trained foil fencer, and I used to be very good at collecting money for a loan shark, no doubt because my riposte spoke for itself. I am basically like the Incredible Hulk but with verbal confrontations. I'm incredibly sensitive, but when angered I can make people cry uncontrollably or totally destroy their sense of self-worth. For some reason their weaknesses are really apparent to me and I'm good at leveraging those. I try not to do it at all, but occasionally it is necessary. I have no sense of self-worth. I could track you down and pee you off with impunity. I can kill and butcher a chicken, pig, cow, or horse. My grandparents are farmers. One time when I mentioned it everyone thought it weird, so now I don't mention it. My powers of investigation. I recently helped a guy at work recover $500 he lost to some Craigslist scammer selling short cords of wood. Using nothing but a phone number and a lunch break I found the scammer's real full name, his wife's full name, his mom's full name, his PO box, his Facebook, his wife's Facebook, 3 of his email addresses, his wife's phone number, his mom's phone number, his mom's home address, and the dot number off the side of his work truck. While doing all this, several other co-workers were obviously a little flabbergasted and a little scared. I told them they have nothing to worry about because I have better things to do, but be careful what you post online. If it wasn't for a simple hi panda ad his wife put online to get rid of a calico cat, I would never have found any of that stuff. Also, people tend to raise eyebrows when you tell them you're an adult PC gamer. Same thing with hobby grade RC cars. There's a misconception that grown-ups can't enjoy playing. I think that's just because they've all forgotten how to have fun. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.